A violent disturbance of the peace by a crowd. This is how a riot is defined in the dictionary. The terms liquor incident, opposition to coeducation conversion, and property damages all describe acts of rioting and vandalism. All of these elements occurred at Dongduk Women's University. Female students staged protests against the plan to convert the university into a coeducational institution. However, the controversy escalated as the protests went beyond peaceful demonstrations, leading to property damage and illegal activities.
Our school completely ignored our opinion. There's a reason why we chose a women's college, but we were scared of it being taken away. We should not forget our identity. We came to women's college, this should not be happening. Men coming to our school, I do not like it.
The anxiety and anger these students feel are easily relatable. The feeling that their identity and rights are being threatened should be taken seriously in itself. However, a legitimate voice sometimes crosses the line. Excessive behavior distorts the original message and causes social consensus to be lost. The property damage at Dongduk Women's University was not small. Can this radical method lead to problem solving?
I'm all about communication with students, but what I'm saying this season is that there's a certain level of emotional shock and anger from students. It's unfortunate, but I think there's a clear implication in making sure that their voices are heard.
As the professor said, the threat to the identity and rights felt by students can be easily sympathized. But as time went on, the peaceful voice gradually turned into an emotional conflict. Amid the intense cries, there was less room for dialogue, and the events led to unexpected results. No matter how justified the students' intentions were, the extreme actions that occurred in the process distorted the original message and led to greater controversy. This case is not just a problem of a university. It is an example of asking important questions about the higher education system and gender discussions in Korea from an economic and social perspective. Now, let's analyze the cause and effect of the event, focusing on these two aspects. The protests led to the cancellation of major university events, job fairs, and a suspension of administrative work. This has hurt the school's reputation and negatively affected the local economy. Universities are likely to face financial challenges in the long run due to this situation. A drop in enrollment, a drop in donations, and a drop in public confidence are expected.
After the discussion on co-educational education, internal conflict within the school reached its peak. Administrative work was virtually paralyzed, and major events such as a fair were cancelled, which took a huge toll on the school image. I only hope that this situation will resolve as soon as possible.
Students began protesting with a sense of threat to their identity and rights, but social controversy and conflict escalated in the process. Students' actions began as an effort to protect their identity as a women-centered university, but led to greater social discussions surrounding gender equality and institutional issues. The incident raised important questions about what role women-centered universities in Korea should play in modern society. Like the student movement in Korea in the past, this incident shows the younger generation's voices calling for social change.
Everyone would say it's radical, but it was something we needed to show that we were that angry. Peacefully, no one cares.
To address this situation, schools, students, and communities must work together to implement specific action plans. Schools should ensure transparent and inclusive decision-making through regular conversations with students. Students' opinions should be collected systematically, and trust should be restored through regular public hearings. We need to invite neutral outside experts to help resolve the conflict from an objective point of view.
The students' reactions go beyond simply the transitions to co-education. They seem to be resistance against the lack of communication and undemocratic procedures in school management. To resolve the conflict, the school needs to initiate sincere dialogue with the students. The recurrence of such issues suggests a structural problem.
It's not just a university issue. It re-illumines the direction of higher education and the discussion of gender equality in modern society. Can the transition to coeducational education promote gender equality education while maintaining the identity of women-centered universities? And how can these conflicts be resolved? The coeducational transition offers opportunities to promote gender equality, but we need to preserve the identity of a women-centered university through transparent decision-making and inclusive dialogue. The Dongduk Women's University protests highlight the concern that this identity will disappear and show that conflicts can arise when members' voices are not fully reflected. The economic loss from the cancellation of the event further highlights the need for balanced reform. By strengthening cooperation and respecting its historical mission, women-centered universities can develop while maintaining their intrinsic values.